It's time to warm up before the game. This is Pat and Go with Paul Browning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. You are tuned into Pat and Go with Paul Browning on KPPF. I'm your host, Paul Browning.
We're live.
We are live. We're live. As always, just for an introduction, I've got to my right, what's up, Guy Girtin.
Good morning, Paul. Great to be here.
Definitely. I've got Mike Lewis.
Good to be here, Paul. Thank you.
Oh, it's great to have you guys. And today is big for us because this is the first ever KPPF live show, and Pat and Go is going live for the first time ever. So we're gonna make a little bit of noise for that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? It's good to be live. It's good to be live.
Congratulations.
Oh man, definitely. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that we're liking and subscribing to KPPF Radio 1040 AM and also Pat and Go with Paul Browning. Now, before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to our vets. We've got a special guest in today, Brandon Gray.
How you doing? Appreciate you having me back.
Definitely. He's our fantasy insider, but he is also a vet, so I want to say thank you for your service, man. We really appreciate it. So, but Veterans Day was yesterday, but we do want to make sure that we're always thankful for that service. Also, shout out to our viewers. We love you guys and our supporters. I know personally for me, I'm trying to bring a lot more to the city of Colorado Springs, whether it's through the summer leagues that we do or the various football programs through Lionheart, Paul Browning Receiving Academy, or things like this with the Pat and Go show. Just being able to bring these things to Colorado Springs. We've got some big time heavy hitter guests coming in very soon. And we're really excited about it, but we cannot run without you guys. So we do want to thank you always for your support.
You bet.
So
big hitters. We had Rod Smith and we had him in, so we got some big hitters.
Oh, yeah, we've got even more coming.
I mean, bigger than me, though? Come on. Come on.
That's where we get started, right? Everybody has big heads, you know? That's how it gets started.
Hey, shout out to going back to Veterans Day real quick, two things was that the Veterans Day parade last weekend in downtown Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Nice turnout. It was great to see so many folks come out and support our military. This town really does support the military, and it's thank you. And also businesses. On Veterans Day yesterday, there were numerous restaurants and other shops that were giving free meals to veterans. And there were long lines because I went and took advantage of one of those meals. But I want to say thank you because businesses don't have to do that.
Right.
But it was a nice gesture. And I just want to say thank you because, that affects their bottom line. But they did it because they care about the veterans.
Right.
Very well.
Yeah, and if you guys want to make a difference this weekend, there's a softball tournament at Skyview here in the Springs, and they're doing a Toys for Tots tournament. So all the proceeds will go to Toys for Tots, and go ahead and bring some toys for the kids. Go out and show your support for the town.
Oh,
that's big time.
See,
this is the group. I love surrounding myself with people like this. This is exactly what it's about. But with all that being said, it's time for us to jump into the high point. Let's do it.
Let's go.
It's time for the high point, recapping all the highlights from the past week.
So when it comes to the high point, obviously we got to do our game balls. But first, the recap of this last Thursday night game. We did have the Ravens and the Dolphins. Very surprising upset for the Dolphins to win at home. Lamar Jackson had a homecoming going back to Miami, Florida. And, man.
That Miami defense, oh, man.
There was the whole – I mean, that was the story of the game.
Yep.
The way that the Dolphins defense was able to contain Lamar Jackson and make the plays that they needed to make. Were there any big takeaways when it came to last night?
Yet another huge upset of all last week. We had so many upsets, but that one.
So
and we were talking before we came on the air about the big man, Robert Hunt. If you guys saw that, big lineman caught a pass and he did score, but no, he's not eligible. Sorry.
So
Sorry,
big. Just want to make it known for all the linemen. If you are blocking on a screen, just block for the screen. Don't turn and catch the football
and run.
Because you may look good, but it's not going to count.
Hey, but speaking of linemen, the rookie tackle, Liam Eckenberg.
Yeah.
He came up big with 2 fumble recoveries on offense that kept those drives going, too. So we can't forget about the big guys recovering the football and stuff.
Big time.
And Alabama fans, Tua.
Tua's back in it. Tua's back.
Good.
And that was something I think I touched on earlier on in the season, I'm not the biggest fan of when a quarterback is being shuffled in and out of the lineup. I know that they got the victory yesterday, but it's just not good for the culture of the team. I still believe that Tua did come in and make some plays, but when you got Jacoby Brissett, he's playing, and then he gets yanked out, and you can
playing
see
well
him.
too.
Oh yeah,
he's making big plays, especially right before half.
And you can see how frustrated he was to not get back into the game, but then Tua was able to come back in and definitely make some plays, and we just being able to see that, I still am on the same stance.
Yeah,
Not
I
the
agree
biggest
with
fan when you shuffle the quarterback in and out of offense. And Flores made it really clear that he kind of didn't want to. They were trading for Deshaun Watson, so that kind of made it a little bit of, I don't know, makes it a little bit of an issue.
Right, and Brissett was on the sidelines, going back and forth, testing the knee. He looked perfect. He looked good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to come back in. But I agree with you.
We're just going to have to see where that ends up going. But we've got so many other games that are coming up this next week. But before we jump –
My big question is, if he could play the second half, why didn't he play the first half? Like, why keep him out? Like, if he's healthy enough to be there, you need to be there for your guys. You're the starting quarterback. You need to be ready to go.
And
good point.
Tua, like you said, for that first half not being – like, you don't start him.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, just a whole mix-up.
Yeah, we could get into that for a minute.
Just a whole mix-up. But, I do want to jump back into last week. Wild Week 9, all right? I mean, all the different upsets. I did terrible in the picks. None of us actually did very good. Guy was the only one over 500.
I could feel it. I
could feel it in his bones.
The Broncos, I could feel it.
Yeah. But there's a couple game balls we do need to give out. Does anybody want to kick it off when it comes to the game balls?
I got several.
Hey, you were the best. Go ahead, start us off, guy.
I'll start us off. One is that Denzel Ward, the Cleveland Browns DB, 99-yard
How you going to do me
You
like
got that one? I'm sorry. But the main thing about that, Joe Burrow, his former teammate, quarterbacking for the Bengals. So he's got a game ball right there.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yep.
Denzel Ward.
And I'm going to the Broncos game with Cowboys and Javonte Williams, who's been named Rookie of the Week.
Yeah. Right.
And 17 carries, 111 yards in the game. I did not see the Broncos getting that game, so congratulations
None of us
to
did.
Javonte.
Played well.
And he's got 467. Oh, by the way, I love what one of the media reports called him a tackle-breaking beast.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. I actually got two game balls. First one's going to go to the Titans defense.
Yeah.
They held that high-powered Rams team. Now that they got OBJ, it might be a little bit different, but they held them to no big plays, one catch over 25 yards, and it was only 26, 2 interceptions, and 5 sacks.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Titans defense, and then James Conner.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even start him last week in fantasy, so it hurt to say this, but he had 96 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 5 catches, 77 yards receiving, and a receiving touchdown. Man went off. So
that's
kudos to him.
That's big time.
And another half a game ball.
Yeah.
Cordarrelle Patterson.
Oh yeah. He's came on.
I'll tell you what, in that play, Atlanta, Matt Ryan hit him down the sideline with less than a minute left.
Yeah.
That was the clincher for Atlanta. So
NFL's best Swiss Army knife there.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he stepped up big, especially with Calvin Ridley out.
Yeah.
They need that.
Yeah. And Atlanta's not completely out of it. They're actually doing pretty well. I think they're 4 and 5 now.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're still right there in the mix. I'm going to give my game ball to Josh Allen. This is a different Josh Allen, though. This is not Josh Allen for the Bills. This is Josh Allen for the Jags. And actually, this was the first time ever that a player named Josh Allen, or a player with the same exact name of the quarterback, sacked the quarterback. So he had a sack, and he also intercepted Josh Allen. And then he had a fumble recovery. He had the whole trifecta, right? And he had 8 tackles on the game. I think that's a career day for Josh Allen. He's put himself right into the spotlight when it comes to NFL stardom. Speaking of stardom.
Josh Allen. From Josh Allen. Wait a minute, who? What Josh Allen? Yeah.
But speaking of stardom, like I said, we do have our fantasy insider with Brandon Gray here. Do we have any stardom sit-ems coming for this next week?
I got
fly
you.
through
I
real
got
quick?
you taken care of. So my stardoms this week, obviously James Conner. I think he's on a roll. And with Kyler Murray still possibly not playing, Colt McCoy coming in, you're going to want to run the ball. And then they're out Chase Edmonds because of his ankle. But the Panthers – he scored 40.3, by the way, last week. James Conner did. Yeah. But the Panthers have allowed 4 of their last 5 running backs to score over 15 points.
Yeah.
So another big game for James Conner. I think he's going to do well. And then I have, for the QB, I have Matthew Stafford coming off of a big loss. That's hurting. That stings. And you're going to play the Niners. And the Niners actually have allowed 6 of their last 9 quarterbacks to score over 20. So, again, you got to start Matthew Stafford. I know they're not going to have OBJ yet, but I think they're going to come back and show them that last week was a fluke against the Titans. And then sit 'em, I actually have Christian Kirk. With James Conner playing well, Colt McCoy if he stays in and starts. But you also have DeAndre Hopkins coming back, A.J. Green coming back off of the COVID. So you definitely – that's a tough one to play for me. And then Antonio Gibson. The Bucs have allowed only 1 rusher this year over 67 yards. So Antonio Gibson for the Washington football team, I can't see starting him this week. So
Can't see. Sit him down.
sit him down.
What about some sleepers like Noah Fant coming back?
I like Noah Fant. He's on my fantasy team, more than one of them. So, hey,
I'm ready for him
he's
to
the
bust
I
out.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I need that. But with Jerry Jeudy, you're going to want to get him touches too. Him being gone for a couple weeks in the seasons, you're going to want to get him back in the flow of things. And they started to last week against Dallas, but everyone was feeding off Dallas last week. So I look to see Noah Fant coming back in and also Jerry Jeudy, honestly. I think Jerry Judy's going to have a big game this week as well.
Michael Gallup is also added into the lineup with Dallas, having him.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a maybe? I know they've got
The
Dallas
problem with
has
Dallas
such, they have
last
such
week
a
is
great
drops.
Yeah.
If they catch the ball, hold on to the ball, they're in that game. And a couple 4th down decisions that you don't pick up, they'd be right there. But they just got to catch the ball. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Mike Gallup, he has been a little bit notorious when it does come to the drops. So that's hopefully when he's inserted back into the lineup, that would be
CeeDee
something.
Lamb last week had, 5 drops? He was 2 catches on 9 targets with 5 drops.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Two,
And you know
couple of
what?
drops too.
Yeah.
Previous to that game, he had been targeted. I want to say he'd been targeted almost 50 times and had not 1 drop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it tells you, and as a receiver, to be laser focused like that is very difficult. You know, you deal with so many different things in a game, and you have so many ups and downs as a receiver. Slumps are real, man. It's just like being a hitter in baseball. So for him to be locked in the way that he was excellent. So with that being said, we're going to do it. That's going to do it for the high point. I actually want to take a short little break, so then we can hop back into Flag on the Play and talk a little bit more with Brandon Gray. So this is Pat and Go with Paul Browning. We'll be right back.
Castle Roofing, with a K, has a combined 16 years of experience. Whether it's repair to your roof, a free inspection for possible deterioration of your roof, or a full-blown removal and replacement of your roof, we consistently provide quick, efficient service to protect your home or business. When it comes to hail damage to your roof, we have the expertise to help you there as well. We want to help you with all your roofing needs. Call us at 719-799-0609 so we can get started. That's 719-799-0609. We're a proud sponsor of the Pat and Go Show with Paul Browning.
Another bad grade?
I miss little grades and the square root of her biggest problem.
I studied all week.
I miss poor study skills. I stress beyond her comprehension.
We can't keep having this conversation.
It's not like I want to fail.
When low grades follow you home, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results. Keep low grades out. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.